And like I said, there's the bigger we get, we got more people coming at us. People are going to try to do bad things to us no matter what because they don't want us to succeed.
Is we grew up so fast that we got so much attention, and you're not allowed to, in the corrupted market, you're not allowed to grow in crowds. You're not allowed to pop out of nowhere and help people change their life. You're not allowed to do that.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way. I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly. Marty, there's a few people on your channel you might want to get rid of. I got rid of a few on mine. First of all,
have a name? No.
yeah, Queen of Karma's on there asking for a debate. That's the lady I brought on, and her debate was screaming at Ash and another Queen of Karma, probably the same person, asking about why don't we answer the question about commissions. I think we've answered that over and over again.
Oh, I've been answering them all morning long. Yeah, it's not the answer you want, but
yeah, I'm not even worried about that. Remember that.
She's just one, though, of
Listen, if you're gonna say
literally
one more
dozens
disrespectful
of
word,
people that have come to me and told me that you're refusing to give.
I muted her because Sally, if you're gonna be disrespectful and tell me you stole and all that, I didn't respect you. I told you thank you. You're being brave. That's a courageous step for you. If you wanna have a professional conversation, welcome.
Hello, everyone, and happy Easter. I am hoping that all of you are having a fabulous, fabulous Friday today. Happy Good Friday to those that celebrate that. We just kind of pass out eggs on Sunday, and then have a nice dinner. It's just really a long weekend for me. But happy Easter, everybody. We have Joe here. Good to see you. Mark is here. He says happy Easter. We have Violet here. I hope that you did get up and dance, by the way. I'm just saying, if you're going to get up and dance, now is the time. Jelly Snack is here. Good to see you. We have Louisiana Swamp here. Next Level is with us. Mr. Level, good to have you. We have Mike here. I'm only not going to say the full name so that I don't spoil it. Onpassive is massive. Yes, massive, massive. A massive scam. Poor Sally, I know. Sally really took the hit. I'm just so cheeky and disrespectful, apparently. For those of you that maybe didn't get to watch the whole thing, what had happened is I had gone on the live stream and Ash told me that he had a 30-day refund policy, and I told him that there were several people that had complained to me about not getting their refunds. And he was like, name one person. And Marina popped into my head because we had just been talking to her actually about it. And then he went on a big rant about her. And then I was like, yes, but the SEC calls this a pyramid scheme. And then at that point, it was over. It was over for me. He just didn't want to hear from me anymore. I think he yelled more at me, though, than I yelled. I'm just going to say it. So today I thought that for Easter, we would just have a fun time. There has been some new promotional materials that have been released, and I thought we could have a fun little laugh at them, as we love to do over here. Consider it like an Onpassive meme stream, if you will. You had meat today. Are you going to hell? Are you not already there? Do you advocate from Earth? Onpassive is bigger than Onpassive. A genuine quote from an Indian founder. I believe it. I believe they've said this. You can't believe they let me on? Yeah, I know. Now I'm just waiting to debate Marty, although, as you heard, I don't think he's going to debate me because after they stated that they would debate anyone, they allegedly just don't want to debate me. Maybe it's just me. They just don't like me, It's okay. Lots of people don't. I'm used to it. But if you do like me, please do come follow me on X or Zitter or Twitter, whatever you want to call this app. I would really like you to come and follow me on it. I'm KarmaTroll001. Come give me a follow. The link is on my channel, I believe, so you can just click it. Also, this is your daily reminder that Onpassive is a pyramid scheme that is being sued by the SEC for $108 million for securities fraud. If you do want more information on that, the link to this is down below. If you come here, they give you a pretty nice little summary, TLDR, of the lawsuit. You have the original SEC complaint along with the amended one, which I would recommend reading because it goes through the original and then also has the amendment, so you kind of get the whole thing with it, But the link is in my description right now. If you do want more information on this, I highly recommend going to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission website where this litigation is and reading through. They do a pretty good job of explaining what Onpassive really is and tell you where they spend their money and etc. So today we are going to be discussing Onpassive's silliest promotions. So I thought that maybe we would start with a video one. Marty has been posting up some of the funniest, shortest, weirdest promos I think I've ever seen. And he posted a good one for Good Friday today. Luckily for us. Oh, it's going super duper fast. Okay, here we go. So, It says on the actual picture, on this sacred day, let's remember the sacrifice that brings us grace, Good Friday. I just want to remind you that the main places in which Onpassive is located are places that are not usually Christian. Just throwing that out there. Then there's some letterings on the top here, and it says, Good Friday is a time to reflect on the immeasurable love that Jesus demonstrated on the cross. And it's all AI saying it. I am reading it to you to avoid giving them the opportunity to try to copyright strike any of us. Unfortunately, it appears that Onpassive Review has lost their channel due to these false copyright strikes. So we just don't want that. On this day, Good Friday, we remember the selfless act of love that changed the course of history. And I'm like, okay. Good Friday teaches us that love is the greatest force in the universe, capable of conquering all. I love how they do the words here. It's great. In the midst of our own struggles, which I guess they're struggling pretty badly over at Onpassive right now because nobody's received a commission. They've been getting promised that it was coming any day now since September, right? So there's that. It's AI generated slop content. Yeah. And not even generated by their AI, right? Hello, Takara. Good to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Marty is such a good-hearted person. He's just trying to uplift humanity. Anyone doubt that? Yes, everyone does, I think. Good Friday reminds us of the unconditional love of Christ, which, again, is true to those who are Christian, and only to those who are Christian. If you are Muslim, pagan, or anything else, you aren't celebrating that this weekend. May the message of Good Friday fill our hearts with gratitude for the love that knows no bounds. And I swear to God, if they tie this into Ash, I'll flip. On this sacred day, let us meditate on, I don't know if Catholics are cool with meditating, but okay, the love that led Jesus to lay down his life for us. Good Friday is a reminder that love is the ultimate sacrifice and the greatest gift. Wasn't it the day that Jesus was killed on the cross? Is that loving? I don't know. I'm going to try not to shade religion too much today. The greatest gift we can give in the face of darkness, Good Friday, teaches us to choose love over hate and compassion. Wait, you're supposed to choose love over hate and compassion? Or you're supposed to choose love and compassion over hate? Over judgment and over judgment. May the message of Good Friday inspire us to love one another as Christ has loved us. Let us approach Good Friday with hearts full of love, ready to share the love of Christ with others. So we're teetering, right? Because what is it that they share? Onpassive. That's all they do. In the name of Jesus, may God bless all Good Friday. That's it. May all bless all, and then it goes to loop again and they shut it off. I think that's what was happening there. So, you know, it's all about Good Friday, but they slap the Onpassive logo on there, and they're very heavily implying that on Good Friday, you should spread the joy of Onpassive, which I don't really agree with. I'm kind of like, can we just leave this to one thing? There's another one that's just about ONET. It's super short.
Writing career with ONET, our social media platform for boosting your ideas. You can join ONET free. Simply register at www.coolzone.ai.
So that is it, and I had to leave the music in that one because it sounds gangster.
Launch your writing career with ONET, our social media platform for boosting your ideas. You can join ONET free. Simply register at www.coolzone.ai.
What the fuck? Don't join ONET. See? There we go. I made it better, I think. I think I made it better. But, I mean, what is the information of it? Let's just take a second and break it down. They say launch your writing career, which is a little bit bizarre. But I do hear people are writing books, you know. But now they're saying use it with ONET. Launch your writing career with ONET? I mean, I was just about to say there's AI that will write books for you, but that you're not going to do that on ONET seemed a little weird to me. It's their social media platform for boosting your ideas. And as you see, just the way it is, it's so confusing to me because, like, the AI bot saying one thing, but then their slides are saying something a little bit different. Just one more time.
Launch your writing career with ONET.
But then the background says light up your ideas. Not launch your writing career with ONET. You see what I mean?
Social media platform for boosting your ideas.
And fly them through blogging. Which I don't know what the fuck that means. Maybe one of you guys can translate that for me.
You can join ONET free. Simply register at
Says you can join ONET free, gives them the, Marty's link. But the screen says ONET, register now for free access to OMail, ONET, and OTrip. So I find it like really confusing.
www.coolzone.ai.
And then this music, it's pretty gangster. You got to give them that. But this thing is 15 seconds long. That's as long as they are. They're anywhere from 15 seconds, sometimes even 10 seconds, all the way up to a minute. But then they aren't short, so it makes me laugh a little bit. I feel like he's trying to post shorts. He just doesn't realize that you have to do it like on a phone layout. Then there was one about scheduling posts. And I got pretty excited about it because apparently scheduling posts is a very big deal here in Onpassive, right? So, maintain order and prevent conflicts by strategically scheduling your posts. All right? That's a big deal here at Onpassive. It takes a lot to be able to schedule posts. The fact that ONET now has the ability to schedule posts just makes it so much better than all the other social media apps. I know. All the other social media apps like Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, you've been able to schedule posts on them for a decade. I get it. But the fact that ONET now does that in 2024 officially makes it so that it blows them all out of the water. Because when you use this one, you're not even sure if they'll actually show up when they're supposed to. So see, it's kind of like playing a fun game. Add some extra excitement to it, if you will. This will guarantee seamless navigation and interaction. And I'm kind of like, not really, because usually when I'm scheduling posts for my social media, it's because I'm not going to be there. So am I really reacting? This is why I don't like bots. It's like they're not real subscribers, not real engagement, not real reacting. Similarly, when you schedule a post, is it actually engaging and interacting? Because I'm nowhere near my computer when scheduled posts go up. That's the point. Is that they can go up when I'm doing other things. So then, am I there to then actually have an interaction? I mean, I guess people can like respond to it. And then later on, when I return to my computer, I can like interact. But it's just not as good as actually posting in the moment, you know? Devoid of any unwelcome interruptions. I'm not sure what unwelcome interruptions you can have. Is someone going to tell you that you have to get off the 12 hours of webinars you've been at today? I mean, because that's all you're really doing at Onpassive, right? Boost your ideas by stepping into our echo chamber, right? I didn't think there could be anything worse than O-mail, but O-net certainly comes close. See, and the funny thing about the O-net is that it's gone through some funny phases with it too. So there was a time when it first released. Some of you guys might remember this. I know it's been a little while and a lot has happened. But when it first released, there was like this whole period where you couldn't even make a post with it. So it was essentially just pointless. It was just, you would go in, you would make your account, it would post up your profile picture and your background picture that you would put on your account, right? But then when you went to go and like, is it called updating a status with O-net? I don't even know. It's not like they use lingo or anything. But when it came to doing a post, you would go to do a post and it would never post. So it was kind of like O-mail. Because similarly to O-net, with O-mail, when you send an email out, it's about a 50-50% chance that it won't show up. And at the beginning of them creating O-mail, they actually forgot the send button. So you couldn't send any emails. So it's very, very similar, right? It's just funny to think of the problems they have. It's like, okay, so you made a social media app that you can't post on. And then you made an email client that you can't send an email on. And there was a time when they were both going on at the same time for several days, you know? and this is how Onpassive has been born. But you can't promote another business on O-net, right? So it's useless for business owners. Has anyone tried promoting their separate businesses on the platforms? Yes. People have. People have gone on and posted another business. When they do that, they are told not to use Onpassive to try to scam people. And then they're accused of being a scammer. It doesn't matter what their business is. You could be a real estate agent, right? You could be working at a dental office as a dentist and just want to promote your office, you know, or anything on social media. And this is why I never understand them when they keep saying, join Onpassive and use it for your business. I'm like, well, people have tried that. And whenever they post about another business, you get mad at them. You call it a scam. Like, what do you mean, you know? So people have tried, but yeah, it gets deleted pretty quickly. And they're told, no, don't do that. This is Onpassive. So it's like, okay, so I'm going to be hanging out on O-net, promoting O-net to other people that also need to have O-net in order to see my posts about O-net. Yeah, no, that should definitely work. Yeah, you'll get lots of customers that way. Violet says, I would invite y'all to be friends with me on Onet, but since y'all are hiding behind your aliases, I can't. You know? I've tried pushing tiny dinger condoms, but no interest. Not yet, anyway. Keep trying, Joe. I'm sure they'll need them soon. Happy Easter, Agent Shilbot. Good to see you. I tried Onet by posting Mafara's picture and it chopped off his head. Was that an omen? Maybe. Andy, good to see you. Andy says that he tried posting separate opportunities and it wouldn't let them. You spam scam. Jesus Christ. Give Solo a link. He'll love it. Yeah, no, essentially it's like, and I was trying to explain this the one time that we did a little bit of a deep dive on Onet. It really is an echo chamber of just other people in Onpassive. You already have to be signed up for Onet in order to be in Onet, right? Right? So why would you then just use Onet to promote Onpassive? Like, it makes no sense for them to say, we're going to take over Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all this. It's like, okay, so I'm just going to get an Onet account to post to other people in Onet and ask them to buy Onet. The outside world is not even seeing those posts. So from a marketing point of view, as a business owner, I'm presented with several social medias out there that are already well known, well acclaimed, and that I already know that there's a large user base on. Because that's the other thing, right? I already know lots of people are using those ones. Most of the world is on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or like one of them. You know what I'm saying? So as someone that owns a business, am I going to want to go with one of those and promote on those places, which are free, by the way, completely? Or am I going to want to go and join something and then only promote to people on Onet that doesn't really have that base, and then that also doesn't reach the public? I do a post on Twitter, I can make it public, which means I use some hashtags, everyone's seeing it. If I do that on Onet, even if I use hashtags, not as many people are going to see it. Right? It's like, it would be kind of stupid for me to be like, yeah, let's buy into Onpassive. Gina Leva won't accept your friend request. I guess just keep trying. I mean, that's what they would say, right? Right? Using Onpassive to sell Onpassive to Onpassive users, 3,000 IQ move. And that's the thing, is that's really a TLDR sum up of what Onet is. It's kind of crappy. See, they do hashtag like Onpassive. But see, Onet isn't open up to the whole internet, if you will. Right? The only way that I can see posts in Onet is if I go into Onet. So I don't think it works the same way. It's almost like using a private account and then wondering why your hashtags aren't making things public, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't work. Like, why? Why would you do that? It's silly. Like, I'm sure the other people in Onet, when they click on the hashtag Onpassive, right? Like, it might pop up a bunch of Onpassive posts, but then those would only be within Onet. Like, it wouldn't connect to the rest of the universe and, like, the whole internet. You know what I'm saying? The Onet is designed so it's cut off from everyone, which then that kind of takes away the whole point of social media for most people. And especially people who would be in MLMs, who would be small business owners that are using social media to reach an audience they wouldn't have already reached. Right? So to them, having this closed off social media would make no sense. And it's like they just haven't even thought of that. Good to see you, Salah's Tiny Dinger. Happy Easter. I'm not 100% sure if there is. And that's what I mean. Like, I don't even know if you would get a whole bunch of other ONET. They do hashtag things. It's just then it would only be the people in there. Right? You have to be O verified. Duh. Right? And see, that's the funny thing, is that it is exclusive in a way, right? Again, though, exclusivity is kind of the opposite point of marketing your business on social media. So it's like, I don't know if people are going to want that. Right? Tiny Digger Condom says that they need to advertise on a different platform. And I agree. Get your, and then free is in brackets for some reason, but it says get your free in brackets, ONET. Simply register at, and then, of course, Marty leaves his link, which then always says, register now for free access to O-Mail, ONET, and O-Trim. Yes, you'll notice O-Tracker has been taken out because they're doing a free trial of O-Tracker right now. It's supposed to cost money. Right? So that's interesting. It's not ready yet. It's in beta. It's beta testing. You tried to befriend Dan Street and got reported to legal. See, and that's what I mean. If you befriend someone in there and you even pitch them another opportunity, like they'll like boot you out. It's like, okay, but you said that this was to promote your business. You just, I guess, forgot to mention just the part that it was only to promote your Onpassive business then. So don't believe them when they say, yeah, if you're a small business owner, come join Onpassive, because it's just, that's not the case. Oh, crap, Marty. That's right. But see, this one ended up only being 20 seconds long, which just makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. There's one more of the videos, and then we'll get into the memes. This one is the latest O-Connect commercial that he did. So, it says, O-Connect allows seamless online interactions across the digital realm. Get your 14-day free, in brackets again, trial. See, like, when you put that in brackets, I feel like it's not really free. It's almost like also putting it in quotations. It's like, why are you doing that? Free trial of O-Connect. Simply register at... And then he does his link, of course. But this was another one where it's very distracting for someone like me when I'm trying to read or listen to words, but then there's extra words on the screen that I'm also supposed to be reading. You know, I wish it was a little bit better at that. Because now it's talking about how O-Connect will make a smooth stream. Right? In this last slide, as smooth as an uninterrupted stream. And it's like, didn't even say that. The AI words didn't say that. So he's just been, apart from doing his 2 to 3 webinars a day, He's been posting up these, and I just found them comical. Comical! I hope you guys did too. Now let's get on to some of the memes. This company basically memes itself. I don't have to do much. Devil's Advocate says all O-Tracker does is show you how many people clicked your personal Onpassive affiliate link. That's all it does, right? You don't need an app for that. Just make it a tab in OES, for fuck's sakes. Yeah, and see, the thing is that they claim it's to do all websites, but you have to own the website in order to do it. And it's very, very fucking confusing how to go about that. They don't give good instructions. Hello, Critical Thinker. Happy Easter. I hope you're doing well. Was watching the 360 the other day. Chris and Marty were getting choked as random people kept showing up in the panel that had not been invited. Such good security. Jeez, I wonder how that happened. So weird. It's not like someone posted a link in a Discord somewhere and then the whole Discord went over or anything. Right, Jelly Snack? That didn't happen. I promise. I promise. Excuse me. See, here's the thing is that I don't even know if you have to actually be in your account. You might have to, but when you're giving out the free OES accounts, then yeah, it's not great security. Because they usually post the link up in the back office, and anyone that has access to the back office can then click on the link. You know? And it's like, why are there only certain people like that are invited? And why are only certain people allowed up on the screen during those webinars? Seems a little weird. I thought you were supposed to get as many people up on the screen as possible. There's supposed to be 10,000 people all sharing their screens at the same time. So why would you care? You know what I'm saying? I was so devastated that I registered for another worthless account and was up and trolling again in less than 2 minutes. I know, it's a hard one. Hello, Sherry. Happy Easter. I hope you're doing well. They demand real names, which is funny because Red's real name is Richard, or I like to call him Dick. And Marty's real name is apparently Dawn. So I want to know why they're allowed to use freaking nicknames and nobody else is. Right? I'm just saying. Happy Easter. So let's go through some of Onpassive's silliest promos that have been getting posted in, I'd say, about the last 2 to 3 weeks. This one is interesting to me. It just says Onpassive hat trick. And as you can see, they're playing some darts. And one of the darts says vision. The other says value. And then the last one says volume. Vision, value, and volume. Which I'm not really sure how any of that describes Onpassive, but they're claiming that they're all Onpassive. A hat trick. Yeah, it's their hat trick, right? Joe says, wrong game. That's what I was thinking. I was like, what are we doing here? It's Dick and Jane. Yes, it is. At this point, I don't think they'll talk to anyone named Joe. No, they really don't like Joe. They get him out of there as soon as Joe shows up. So yeah, this is just like randomly posted on social media. And then it's like, join Onpassive today. And if I saw this, I would be like, I still don't know what it is. So no, I'm good. This is another one. This one made me laugh because for those that don't know, I oftentimes cover flat earthers on my channel. We like to do a lot of covering pseudoscience practices over here. And weird conspiracy theories kinds of falls into that, right? So we've covered all that. And this just reminded me of the flat earth community. Because it says, we're not raising the curve. We are the curve. And it's this guy with his finger going, fresh ideas, you know? Takara says, Red said they are moving 360 to 6 a.m. because it's supposedly easier for Ash. Pretty sure Ash is somewhere in Dubai now, away from U.S. jurisdiction. 6 a.m. Eastern is 2 p.m. in Dubai. That makes some sense. But then, see, and here's my thing. If that is what's going on, right? Why wouldn't they tell the O founders then that Ash is moving out of the US and that's why they removed the USA office from the website? Because it sounds so stupid to me, and I'm sure to a lot of you as well, when they're like, there wasn't enough room for it on the website. I'm over here like, out of all the excuses that you could have made up, why do you always pick the worst one? Like, that just sounds silly, because it's like, okay, well, guess who formats the website? And they're supposed to have 3 new ones every week, right? So it's like, that's your guys' fault. Why didn't you leave room to put the USA office on there then? Like, come on now. Because Ash seems to think that if he erases himself from the US, then he's not going to be held accountable with that litigation. However, that litigation doesn't cover from right now. It can. They can keep adding what Ash is doing to it and amend the complaint. But he's really getting in trouble for what he did between June of 2018 when this thing started and then when they made the litigation, which would have been in August of 2022, I believe it was. So that's the time that they are technically suing him for and getting him in trouble for. Him moving now doesn't erase the fact that he was in the US running the scam in the US during this time. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't erase the fact that this scam has signed up people in the US. So I don't think removing the office has anything to do with it. As long as you are signing up people there, I'm pretty sure they can still get you in trouble. So I'm like, could you not just tell us a better excuse? I'd like that one better. If they were like, yeah, Ash moved to Dubai. At least that one makes more sense, you know? Jane loves it. Oh, Lord. All the locations are missing now. I know, that's smart to do. I swear to God that every time they redo the website, it does get worse. The new one sucks so bad. I swear they get worse, not better. I feel like every time they redo it, they learn how to add something new onto the fucking thing. And then there's just too much going on. And they think that that means that they're showcasing how amazing their skills are, but that's not what it's doing. Right? Ash didn't tell the founders because they might catch on to him. Or maybe his lawyers said not to share that info. The website isn't ready. They're still working on it. Right? Right. Has Onpassive ever had a decent website? Not that I have ever seen. No, but some are better than others. And at the beginning, there was at least a few where I was like, okay, this isn't like the worst thing. It was like the 4th or 5th one that they had. It was pretty decent. I was like, they should just keep this one. It's not as busy. There wasn't like so much stuff moving around. you know? And now it's almost like they've gotten worse and worse. The last several times, I'm like, I hate this. I hate this whole thing. Connect is in beta testing now. Official release date now is May 1st, 2087. I feel like that's how long we'll be waiting. But they're not raising the curve because they are the curve. And I'm like, the fresh ideas curve? Okay, not really something that I have heard of. Maybe that's just me, though. Then there's this beauty. Onpassive. Open to a world of new possibilities. A world of new possibilities. And I'm like what? Sending an email and not knowing if it will show up? I mean, I guess that's kind of a new possibility. Because when I use Gmail or Outlook or whatever, I know that my email is going to show up, you know? Like I said, we're just making things exciting, right? It's in Delta testing. There are no dates in Onpassive. Also, no timelines, people. Stay positive. They've reached critical mass. So now their location is planet Earth. Oh, the date has been changed to 2095. It's going to take them that long to figure out how to use it with Google plugins. You know? Open to a world of new possibilities is funny to me because Onpassive is basically just a bunch of plans. Right? You could call it just a bunch of possibilities, a bunch of what ifs. Like, what if Ash actually paid people commission? What if he actually used AI on his website? What if he actually did release a product without it having to go through 20 months of beta testing before he claimed it was close to being finished? A lot of new possibilities. Then there's this one. I would like Marty DeGarmo to resort back to this specific promo here whenever he forgets how to spell the word global. Because business is global. Onpassive. I wonder if after they make these, they're like, oh my god, this one is so pretty. I love it so much. Like how we look at them and we're like, ew, what the fuck is this? You know? Coding is hard. If you make a typo, the code doesn't work. Marty DeGarmo. They are the alpha happy unicorn people. No, that sounds like a fun club to join. Yeah, it doesn't say global. That's so true. Business really is global. Just not theirs. Real business. Good to see you, Peaceful. I hope you're having a great, great Friday. It's just so much. It's almost like just like the promo videos we see. They're the Bill Bust Productions. We got a lot going on here. You know, we got the background with all the people standing with their arms crossed. And then we have like the words and the world. And it's just a lot to take in. You know, there's ear rape. It's like eye rape is what it is. All right, I feel like I'm being fucked in the sockets right now. Then there's this one, which, all right, this one was posted close to Valentine's Day. You caught me. I'm trying to say that this is an Easter stream, and here I got a Valentine's Day one on the damn screen. I know, you got me. But, like, what is this? Like, what is this? You know? Yeah, it's in all 316 countries worldwide. Remember, Onpassive is a generational wealth provider. so the launch can actually take place when your great-grandkids are adults. That's right. Or maybe even their great-grandkids. You know? In all 8 planets of the solar system, Joe. Rip to Pluto. They look like stickers, don't they? I feel like someone just Googled hearts and then downloaded a bunch of heart pictures and made a collage. Some of them are cut off. They're on Pluto also. It's just a rumor. But it's like, we have this tiny little square up in the top left. And it's a Facebook status. You know, Facebook during Valentine's Day and stuff, they give you some cool little backgrounds to use. Because they've been using backgrounds on Facebook for ages. It's not a new thing. Don't let Ash fool you. But it's like this tiny little square here. And it's cut off, but it says, Onpassive is the people platform AI with heart. And that's all you can see. The rest of them are all generic images until we get to this one right over the word something that says, I heart Onpassive. Right? And then it's just like, want to do something that matters? And I'm like, make a collage of hearts? Like, what are we talking about here? Because it's not telling me to join. It's not telling me anything about it. What if I had no clue what Onpassive was, right? I've never ever heard of it before. You have to market as if the people you're marketing to have no clue what it is. That's probably the best advice that I could give you if you're doing marketing material. You have to always assume that it's their first time laying eyes on the product or the service or the company or whatever. So usually in your marketing material, you want to give everyone a good idea of what the fuck it is. And I'm like, okay, so they're selling heart stickers? You know, because Takara says they look like stickers. And I'm like, exactly. What are we doing? We're just selling heart stickers. Want to do something that matters? My family, every February we get together, we sell everyone heart stickers. Great fun. Smoking Granny has a great time with it every year. I don't know, what you're supposed to think when you come across this. It's very busy. I think that's a good word to describe this stuff of Onpassive. All of it's very busy. You know? It would have been a lot better if they just got a nice little heart background, slapped the logo on there as they do, and then said, want to do something that matters. All these hearts is very distracting. We're using Arial font here. It's like the first font in Canva. They just said header, and then that's the font it is. They don't even come up with their own. And that's kind of the issue with MLMs, right? Is that people will make their own promotional materials too. Some of them won't be pretty. And then what? It's Al with heart. Al with heart has been so busy, Joe. Might need a valve replacement. Is that what we're doing? Is that why we have all these hearts in a collage? We're going to give it a triple bypass? Mark here gets all deep on us and says, the hearts are actually quite representative of what Onpassive actually is. A lonely hearts club for like-minded, dysfunctional people. Dun, dun, dun! Wow. I mean, it's true. It's true. It is a Lonely Hearts Club. This is why I often say that it's more of a cult than an MLM or a business. Because I feel like what keeps the people here isn't the products, right? It's not even really what they're going to do for humanity. It's the community. And that's why Marty kind of made that statement with Chris there on that one webinar, that if you're just kind of sitting around waiting for things to happen, you'll be really bored. You need to be in a community of like-minded people to hang out with. Because I do believe that this thing's more of a cult, and it's based more on the community they've made. You know? And then a love and some weird endearment for Ash Mufara. Mother of all businesses. I feel like it's more like the father of all businesses. Like he went out to go get cigarettes and never returned. You know? More like that. More like that. But yeah, this is going to hurt my eyes if I keep looking at it. Here we have where smiles better Onpassive. And yeah, okay, I get it. The joke is we're miles better, but we put an S in front of it because we're all smiling. And I'm like, really? That's what we're doing here at Onpassive? I'm so glad that your time could be spent when not in the 12-hour-long webinars all day long. You're making this. I mean, what would we have ever done if we never had the great minds to make these promotional materials? I mean, you have to be a genius to think of this. Where smiles better? And then you're not even doing this promo for a dentist? Like, wow. You can't give poor countries clean water by playing community. No, you can't. The ice cream melted 5 years ago. Yeah, really. Smiles better. I'm just upset that it's not a dentist's office ad. That would have been great. See, maybe Ash Mufara should have just been a marketer. Then we have this one, of course. And this is one that I've seen actually more than just a couple times. Like, a lot of people posted this one. I feel like it was very heavily shared amongst those that were in the PNG area, which kind of sucked. But it says, lifting humanity. AI with heart or Al with heart. Onpassive. And then I can barely see it, by the way, because it gets washed out by this blue here in the background. And then it says, modeling connectedness and mutual benefit in business. And I'm like, there had to have been an easier way to say this, okay? And what I don't like is these pictures around the owl with heart in the guy's hand. It's a doctor. All of the pictures around are basically like healthcare related images. We have somebody in a wheelchair. You know, we have like the Red Cross. Right? We got like a needle. I'm like, since when is Ash Mufara giving people needles in Onpassive? If I got to get a vaccine to join this thing, you know, maybe that's what we need is a vaccine. We need an Onpassive vaccine, guys. Good to see you, Scam Chan. Happy Easter. Heart means so much to getting paid, right? You won't get paid unless you have heart. And I'm like, what does that mean, though? Modeling connectedness, which I just hate that as a word, and mutual benefit in business. But then you're showing, like, in the healthcare industry, like, there's a lot going on with this one. A lot. And it bothers me because oftentimes what the Onpassive people do is they'll steal, like, AI from the healthcare industry that another company is working on. And then they'll use that in an ad, right? And they'll be like, check out what AI is doing in the medical health field. It's amazing. It's helping us with all this research and blah, blah, blah. And then they'll be like, so join Onpassive today. And I'm like, yeah, it's great what they're doing. That has nothing to do with you. You have nothing to do with that. So I feel like it's heavily implied in this image, right? It's heavily implied here that they have something to do with the healthcare industry. Something. Like, if you were to see this, you might think that Onpassive is like a union for nurses, even. Or something of the sort. Like, that's what it looks like. It doesn't look like a tech company using AI and ML to help people run their small businesses, right? I'd become an anti-vaxxer if Ash was handing out shots. Yeah, really, right? Just waiting on when Onpassive can display its own AI something something. I'm just like, there's just a lot going on here. It's a lot to take in, and I don't like the fact that they're inferring that they have something to do with the healthcare industry. They don't. Not at all. Ash has nothing to do with the other AIs being created, like, at all. They don't even use AI at Onpassive, so stop it. Stop it. Get some help. This one's fun. It just says, oh, amazing. Onpassive. I'm like, how long did it take you to, like, think that one up, though? Like, how long were you sitting there going, what can I put on this? I really need to promote Onpassive. What am I going to put on this? I know. Oh, amazing. There, I did it. I did it. They just kind of slap the Onpassive logo in the middle of the light there. Very interesting. Anyone in the medical field who is involved in Onpassive should have their license revoked. Right? They should at least be questioned and forced to not bring Onpassive near anything they're doing at the minimum. Hello, MD. Pig hand waving to you. Happy Easter. So see, they're saying Onpassive is amazing. But again, begs the question, if you don't know what Onpassive is, and you don't know that they use O in everything either, by the way. If you don't know what they are, then you also don't know that, like, their products are called, like, O-Mail, O-Connect, O-Net. You know what I'm saying? So you would probably just look at this and be really confused. Like, you'd be like, I don't get it. Oh, amazing. I don't, like, do they build mazes? Like, what's happening? I don't understand what this means. Why are they doing that? Instead of amazing, why did they make it amazing? But you wouldn't wonder enough to go to the website and check it out and try to figure it out. I promise. I promise you wouldn't. You just kind of scratch your head for a second and go, huh, that's weird, and then keep scrolling. You know what I'm saying? Hello, Ken Doll. Good to see you. Happy Easter. I hope you're having an awesome day. Agent Shilbot says, amazing is how I describe Ash's internal thought process. Like a labyrinth of dead ends and false starts. I mean, really, yeah. That's really all he does. Just false promises all over the internet. Hello, Chris. Good to see you. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. Chris says, my wife was yelling, oh, amazing, the other night. Well, hey, make it happen tonight too, buddy. Happy Easter to you. But yeah, it does remind you of the let's O, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Which again, I'm bringing it up if you don't know what Onpassive is. And the first time you ever hear about it is you're coming across a bunch of people going, let's get your O face ready. You're probably not going to think it's a tech industry thing at all. You're going to be like, are they like Pure Romance? What's happening? For those that don't know, Pure Romance is a sex toy MLM. Okay? That's what you would think was happening. Not that they're trying to sell Al with heart. You think they were trying to sell Al with dinger. Are they even talking about OConnect 2.0 ever since Ash announced it? Not really. They just talk about how great OConnect is and how you need to buy it. The expanding hose commercial needs an amazing comment. It does. That would make it better. Yeah, see, it doesn't always work. This is more like what we're used to seeing when it comes to Onpassive. This one is a great example of what the Bill Must productions look like. And most of the promotional materials that you'll see for Onpassive will kind of look like this. It says, Onpassive ecosystem. Did you know? They're not asking us. They're actually just yelling it at us. They put an exclamation point at the end instead of a question mark. So that's not, did you know? It's, did you know? Like they're yelling at you. And then it says, access digital solutions on the SaaS subscription model from Onpassive ecosystem, a multi-platform hub for business acceleration. And I'm like, oh wait, we're still doing like just the ecosystem commercials? Like, hey, come check out the ecosystem. I thought that we had advanced to OConnect and ONet and OMail and OTracker and OTrim and oh my god, whatever else comes out. But I guess we're still promoting to come check out the ecosystem. Which is weird because it should just be called the O system. Just take the ek right out of it. $7,000 a month was a promise. Yeah, even more than that sometimes. When there are 6 fonts, exactly. And like, this is also what the website looks like often, right? It'll be like all these different fonts, these weird colors together. Then just picture things popping out at you. More than Chris might pop out on his wife when they're in bed together, you know. Just, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. Just add a few more buzzwords. Right? And like, I don't know what this logo thing is. Like, the way that they did the logo here looks really messy to me. It looks like they didn't line it up properly. And then someone just scribbled some yellow on it. Makes it look like someone peed in the middle. There, I said it. It's not pretty. Also, like, most people aren't really going to know what it means to say the SaaS subscription model from Onpassive. They're going to be like, the what? You've never heard a company talk about SaaS as much as this one. Would you even use ecosystem and SaaS if you were marketing to regular folks? Yes, but it wouldn't be promoted. And they wouldn't mention it in that way. They would probably just say, we have a hub for business. You know? A lot of people call it, like, it's like almost like a dashboard, if you will. So, like, to most people, the ecosystem part is considered like the dashboard. You don't really promote that, right? You know what I'm saying? You would promote the products that you have access to in it, which they also do, right? But it is very weird that they're always like, the Onpassive ecosystem. It's just bizarre. That's what I don't get. A business with 100 employees would have to pay $125 per month times 100 to use OConnect. Exactly. Right? Exactly. And it's like, let's say I start using it. I want my mods to have meetings with me in it. Now all you guys have to go buy it. It just sounds like a headache. Oh, no. Call it Ron Hub. For my tiny business, not dingers, I look for plain language as to my needs. Yeah. Ash has been promoting the dashboard since 2019 because that's all he had at one point. See, it is true, right? Like, he even promoted the website, but at least that makes a little bit more sense to me. When they say 10,000 people can use it simultaneously, it makes no effing sense. No. Because they've also never had that many people using it and being on the screen. So I'm always like, why do you guys keep saying this like you've done it? You haven't done it yet. So, like, for you to be like, oh, 10,000 people can be on the screen, blah, blah, blah. Like, when? When did this happen? I believe they've gone to, like, what, 25? I believe it was the one time or something. And then they have not even made it to 30. I promise you. They haven't even made it to 30 people on the screen yet. And, I don't know what business needs to have a meeting with 10,000 people. It's like we keep saying, they found a problem nobody has that they're fixing. They're like, all these businesses with over 10,000 employees really want to have corporate webinars with all of their employees like I do, Ash Mufara. I'm Ash at the moment, So I'm going to fix their issue by making a video conferencing app that can have 10,000 people come in. They can watch, or they can even jump up on the screen. And it's like, okay, but you're the only person that wanted that. No, I don't think anyone else is asking for this. Nobody else is like, damn it. I can only meet with 999 of my employees today in a video conferencing app. Like, who does that? Who does meetings like this? If you really wanted to get that many people together, usually you do it in person then. Okay, you make it a business trip. Where they went really wrong is by including passive in their name. I would never look up a company with that name. Only serial MLMers would look it up, right? People that are looking to get into entrepreneurship for the most part, but not in a healthy, legal, legit way, right? Right? People that are looking for MLMs, looking to do coaching, those people that do like the teaching young men how to date women, those types of dating coaches and whatnot. Those are the type of people you're getting. Exactly. Right? And that's the funny thing. That is the funny thing. So SaaS means software as a service. Okay? And like, no one uses this. They say that it basically means that you have like a dashboard and you buy a subscription in order to use certain softwares. And you have access to those softwares on the internet via this subscription. Most people would sum it up as just a membership, a subscription service, and that kind of thing. They wouldn't actually keep saying SaaS, software as a service, software as a service, software as a service. which these guys don't even say software as a service. They keep saying SaaS, which most people don't know what it means. Sherry, you're not the only one. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Like, that's part of the problem here, is they use language that most people don't know. Brand new, never heard of Onpassive before. You read this, you're going to be like, what does that mean? I don't even know what that means. What are they giving me? A multi-platform hub for business acceleration. Like, when you say an SaaS subscription model, you're basically saying software as a service, software as a service, software as a service model. It's like you're just saying the same thing over and over again. Then they even say a platform hub. Multi-platform hub, that would imply the exact same thing as SaaS, software as a service. You know what I mean? Which also implies the same thing as a subscription model. So it's just useless language. Excuse me, but the reason why you've never heard it is because other people don't talk this way. That's not how any other business has ever laid things out. They can have 20 on the panel, but 10,000 can join and see the panel. Yeah, and I know that they've said that they have, but do we have real proof that they've had 10,000 people actually join and watch? You know? And every one of the 10,000 needs to pay $125 to have the pleasure of joining in. It's crazy. Yeah. It's a lot of money to run away to Dubai with. Anyone remember that band called 10,000 Maniacs? I don't, but it does describe Onpassive quite well. We'll have to look into that. My company uses WebEx. We meet with another company that uses Teams. Yeah, Teams is a big one. I just click on the Teams link and it works. Not sure if my company pays for that or I'm just joining a link from the paying company. See, here's the thing, is that if your company does pay for it, they're getting a business package. So instead of your company having to pay $125 for each one of you that want to click on the link and use it, right? They're told, okay, you as a company, you're going to pay us $125 for a whole year probably. And we'll give you like unlimited access. Like all of your employees can use this all day long and do as many meetings as they want. But then the company just pays like a fee and it's the company that buys it. Right? In MLMs though, you are your own business. So you have to buy it yourself. And that's kind of the difference. And that goes to show you the difference between like a legitimate company and how it would work with a company like Onpassive, and then MLMs and those types of companies and how they would work. And the funny thing is, OConnect doesn't have this option, right? But they claim that they're for small businesses. Well, okay, if you were for small businesses, you would have a business package. All of these have a business package. Skype does, Zoom does, I believe, like, every single one of them, other than Onpassive, most likely has literally a business package, and then probably also a premium package where you get extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? Usually the business buys it, not the employees, right? And that's kind of the issue here. Because MLMs are quick to be like, oh, you don't have to worry about anything because the MLM will worry about all of that for you. But then when it comes to like things like this, they're like, we don't purchase things like that. You got to pay $125 out of pocket. Sorry, sis, but I'm here for you if you need moral support. It's like, shut up. This isn't a legit business. SaaS means you go to a website. You don't have to download it to your computer. Yeah, basically. I mean, it usually involves more than one product online that you're using. You remember the band Louisiana? She remembers it. She remembers it. I don't remember it, but maybe I will. Who knows? You can have 200 to 250 in a Teams meeting, and there is no lag. And for most businesses, being able to have 200 to 250 people in a meeting is enough. Like most businesses, even huge corporations, don't do meetings that are large like that. When I was in social work and I was working in mental health, every few months, the whole agency had a meeting. This was an agency that was broken up into many different parts. So it worked in mental health, people with severe mental health issues, and putting them back into the community through residential programs, through community support programs, through all different kinds of things, right? Thousands of people worked at this office, right? But all in different realms, and most of us not even in the office daily, okay? Well, when they would have a meeting, they would just rent out a big ass room and then invite everyone in person if they had to speak to every single fucking person there. They wouldn't do that over the internet. Right? And then if you need to do an international thing, then you would do it over the internet. Like, most of the time, companies don't need more than this. You know? You're a lab tech, so just use the software provided, right? But if you were a lab tech for an MLM, they tell you to buy your own. You know? I remember House of 1,000 Corpses. That could also describe any Onpassive webinar. It really could, though. It really could. That's the thing. So people you invite to Onpassive can't use OConnect for free. They can't. Marty lies, though, because here's the thing. In order to use it for free and get the 14-day free trial, you do have to give them your information and agree that you're going to be paying the $200 or $143 or $250 or $375, depending on what it costs in the moment, right? So, are you using it for free? Hopefully you remember to stop the subscription within 14 days. Otherwise, they take the money out. You do have to input information in. You have to put in that many O coins before it will let you. None of the Onpassive products are anywhere near being good enough for any business to purchase, right? I really don't think so. We need to do a blind interview with reps of some of these big tech companies and ask them if they would use Onpassive for their business and why or why not. I would love to see that. Yeah, that would be fun. 4 years ago, Mufarter pushed the bioweapon, so I never even touched it with a barge pole. A lot of people got out of this thing in like mid to late 2019 when Ash was yelling at everyone. Went through a little phase there, you know. I paid $350 on a car repair yesterday. I'm wondering what that would feel like for that money to have gone to Onpassive. Yeah, because regularly it's $375 quarterly for OConnect. That's how much it would cost for a customer. So, like, they're talking, oh, well, I only paid $143 and it's $2 or it's $250. Yeah. If you're an O founder, I think you get a discount, right? Like usual in MLMs, by the way. So then you only have to pay like the 200 O coins or $250 when it's the full price. I believe that's how they said they were going to do it. You know? You know? There's that one. But everyone else has to pay closer to $350. It's too much money for anyone. I can join the major OConnects with Azure Roblin with my free account that I have not paid a dime for. Oh yes, you can. See, I think if you make a new account, you might get the option to just use it. Every other week, PayPal seems like they have new terms of service. Seems like a bad sign, similar to Onpassive. Can't get XYZ right. Maybe it's Onpassive's fault. Maybe it's Onpassive's fault. Supposedly, when they finally figure out how to pay, only paid O Connects will be able to connect. Yes. Apparently. That's what they keep saying. I don't know, though, because people are still going to figure out how to get in, I think. I don't find it secure. You know? You're afraid of getting a free account since you use your real name. You can probably use a fake name on the free accounts. I mean, they don't have their O Verify yet, right? So this is the next one we got here. It says, life is short and the world is wide. The sooner you start exploring it, the better. And we have like this person holding the world. We have this weird blue bar. I don't know what that's for. I didn't add that in. That was there. And then we have this like weird picture here of these guys holding a phone that says Onpassive ecosystem, O Connect, O Mail, O Net, O Trim. And I hate everything about this. Mainly because these look like they came together. And this looked like O Connect was just added in here. It's like completely different. Okay, I don't know why we need these people here. It's just a lot going on. Drives me a bit insane. Drives me a little bit insane. That is what it looks like, though. So, I don't know. I don't know. I find it a little distasteful. Life is short. Yes, we know. The world is wide. Start exploring it instead of being on webinars for 12 hours a day talking about Onpassive. Sooner you start doing that, the better. All right, don't waste your short life on these webinars planning things that are never going to happen. The world is wide. There's a lot of ways out here that you can be helping people without Onpassive. Literally don't need Onpassive to help people at all. You know? Yes, Hershey boy, your name did change. It's kind of like a virtual fraternity. You pay a bunch of money for friends and receive nothing, right? Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. So this one looks like two ads. Like this could be its own ad here, and then this could be its own ad, but not for Onpassive. Then we have this one, which is funny to me because here we don't read from right to left. But I, for some reason, when I see this, want to read it from right to left. I don't see this and then immediately go to the small steps, which is technically it's small steps lead to giant strides. Right? But the way that they did it, the first thing I see is giant strides. So I originally read it as giant strides lead to small steps, which I feel like actually describes Onpassive better. It describes it better. If you ask me, you know. The traffic thing confuses me. One day they're being placed on your team. The next they're being held in a pool. Forever, perhaps. So there was a group of people that signed on to be O founders. They're supposed to be getting their traffic. right? They claim that there was a whole new influx, all right, since the stupid GITEX thing, right? That apparently brought a whole new group that signed on. So basically, yeah, they signed on during the World Cup, the first group, right? Right. And so now they're the ones that are supposed to be getting this traffic allocated. And then let's say the last year or so, right, there's apparently been a second group. They're the ones who are supposed to be in the hole. All right, they're just in a queue somewhere waiting to get allocated. The first group that signed up is supposed to have this allocation put under them. But the thing is that I don't think that many people have signed up since then. I'm just saying it. I don't think that many have signed up. You know? Agent Shillbot says, it's one small step for Ash, but one giant scam for mankind. Imagine how many came from the police for him, right? Like 2, maybe, if we're lucky. If they're lucky, I should say. Hey, you remember that thing where you went to a website in 2022? Yeah, we're finally getting back to you about that. Like, thanks, dude, you know? Yeah, so basically the last several promotional things they've done were allegedly bringing in the new traffic. So it's the new traffic that just kind of gets stuck in a queue. We're not really sure where they're hanging out. I'm very scared for them. I hope they have air and food and water there, you know. But they are stuck in a queue. And any day now, they're going to go underneath those people. You know? Years of small steps is the problem. Yeah. I bet there are at least 200 to put under the 1,000,000 members. Maybe they could split them. Yeah. And see, that's the thing, is that they've been claiming 1,000,000 members since that first group, right? So it is fair to be like, okay, so 1,000,000 people are now waiting for a commission then. According to the SEC lawsuit, right, they could find 800,000 for sure. People. Most of them not from the US probably, but that's how many people, you know? So you have that many people now waiting to get put under, and I just don't think that they've had that many people sign up since, because they're still saying we have 1,000,000 people. Remember, giant strides lead to small steps. Ash hurts his head sometimes from all that thinking. This one says humans, and it has a girl and a guy, you know, like the bathroom sign. The sign for woman and man there, split. And it says, everyone is equal in Onpassive. And I just want to say, on my channel, trans rights are human rights. Everyone's equal. What, man and woman? What about non-binary people? What about trans people? Are they allowed in your scam? I have a feeling that you'd be okay with scamming anyone, you know? And Onpassive, I don't think they're going to be too picky, are they? Otherwise, I would have to question them about some of the people that are doing these webinars all the time, right? You know what I'm saying? Trans rights are human rights. Don't be a bigot today. Don't join Onpassive. Then, of course, there's my favorite one. Get in and win! Yay! You know? Get in and win. Just a simple one. This guy looks so happy. This poor guy had no clue that they were going to use him for this. He's just a stock image. But I hate the, where the text is. They have get in, and then the way they did and win. It's so uneven, it drives me insane. Then they just put this little blue blob here. And it has 3 screens on them. All of them say Onpassive, but there's only one person here, by the way. You know? You know? That winner circle looks like a 0. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. And we'll be right back after a message from my sponsors, because if I don't play this on my stream sometimes, people get mad. Love you. Today's video is brought to you by...
Do you have a berserker demon? You may think that's a strange question, but I've dealt with berserker demons. What's a berserker? The word describes ancient Nordic warriors who fought with uncontrollable rage. This is where we get the expression, he was so angry, he went berserk. In the days of Vikings, berserkers would enter a trance before battle to get supernatural strength. They fought with a frenzy. Sound like someone you know? As we say, they lose it. Explosive anger can come from frustration, feeling disrespected, trauma, mental and hormonal issues, and drugs, but uncontrollable rage can be demonic. As an exorcist, I've dealt with berserker demons. If you've got one, you'll need more than anger management therapy. You may need an exorcism of a berserker demon of anger. That's inhuman. I'm here to help at boblarson.org.
Whoa, looks like you got a bit of a tangle in your dangle. Did you know that more than 8 out of 10 hose owners die each year? Not anymore. Hey, turn me on and watch my hose get huge. My mom always told me I was a grower, not a shower, and boy was she right. And if you squeeze me in the right spot, all my raging fluids will come flying out of me, and instantly I'll retract to my small, natural, convenient size. Amazing! Oh, yep. Shout outs to all my flowers and growers out there. And just like a real snake, it can contract and expand like an accordion. You know, we really wanted to name it the Snake Hose, but that's the title of a gay porno. I mean, I've never seen it, but Lizard's close enough. This is my next door neighbor, Sharon. She didn't know I was filming her. She also didn't know I had my hose in my hand, too. If your hose weighs more than 15 pounds, I feel sorry for you. You see, women prefer light, dainty, petite hoses. You don't want to be walking around with a big honking nanner. Oh, Sharon. Whoa, watch the whoa, don't get it caught on the thing. Whoa. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. You don't want to end up like that guy, still using a standard hose, not going anywhere, and he's fucking bald. Fuck! Look at my hose, people. Oh, yeah, it's growing fast, and it's not kinking up anytime soon. Now, I don't know who lives here, but it's time to wake up. Behold, the full length and girth of my hose and its full potential. Hey, can't you see I'm filming a commercial here, you fucking asshole? Wah! Take that, fuckboy! No one fucks with my hose! The lizard hose is about $30. You get 25 feet. That's like, just a little bit more than $1 per foot. Nah, fuck it, we'll give you 2. That's 50 feet. Get fucked. Come on, touch it.
Tiny Dinger Condoms, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. Do you think women lie about being sexually assaulted? Do you use your community like a dating app but only date women in other countries but flirt with other women the entire time? Then leave that e-girlfriend for another woman with a My Little Pony fetish that ends up being a dude who's catfishing you for 6 years as a sexy woman? Do you then post lolly of bubbles in your Discord after making sexual cartoons involving minors and claim you are not a nunce? Do you think Onision is innocent? Then we have the brand for you. You won't need to make Sims characters out of your community members anymore and impregnate them in some weird fetish game, or date men who love My Little Pony and the Powerpuff Girls when you have Tiny Dinger Condoms. Heck, you won't even need to wank it to Faith Vickers and Ethan Ralph's porn anymore. Bet you'll soon make your own with that sexy woman or man, you know, the one who loves the Powerpuff Girls there. Just turn on the webcam and show that real live e-girl from OnlyFans, who I'm sure loves you just as much, that Tiny Dinger, and let her her know that you use Tiny Dinger condoms. The condoms that won't let your manliness hide when a man wants to come and do the anal slip and slide. Located at the CVS Pharmacy, Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, all of your local pharmacy brands, and hidden in your favorite streamer's nightstand, because don't worry, they're all the same. No more desperation with those condoms. Now, back to our video. Yes, back to our live stream where we are going through some of the funniest promos that I've seen in the past, we'll say, few weeks with Onpassive. Remember this one? Get in and win! He just looks so happy. The next one we have is, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure he stole that from somebody else. You know? You get in and win. What are we winning? No commissions so far. You win going to webinars every day. You know? So in a world where you can be anything, be kind, they say. And then make sure that you send them $143 US to use OConnect. You know. Then we have this one, which I find fucking horrifying. Alright, this is horrifying. Horrifying. AI with a smile. Like, oh no. It's just like this weird picture of a dude smiling at us. I think it's supposed to be a sparklers. You know, the sparklers, and you can write in the night sky with them. But it just freaks me out. Every time. Every damn time. Then we have this one that's very green. Green. Call Bob. We need Bob. We need Bob Larson. Bob Larson. Right? Scamchan likes it, though. He's like, that's my new best friend. Who's the Onpassive Slender Man. Bill Musk has a free reign by now. He can release what he wants without Ash's approval. Probably. I wonder if Ash is still approving everything because he's supposed to. I don't know. Did he approve all these? I'm just wondering. This one says, everything you do now, Onpassive AI will do it for you. And I'm like, okay, but Onpassive doesn't have AI. Like there is no AI for Onpassive. So, you know, what does that mean? What does it mean? Al will do it for you. Put your faith in Al. Al with heart. Then we have this one, very intuitive here. This girl, she's really thinking. It says, Onpassive, with a big bunch of question marks. This big blue one here, it says, why should you be with us? And this one's my favorite one, I think. Because I'm like, you know what? That's a good question. You gotta give it to this girl. She's asking the real questions. Why should you be with Onpassive? You know? It's basically Ash Max 2.0, which was shut down because it's a scam. The guy that runs it is a con artist that has been a part of several pyramid schemes in the past. They're being sued by the SEC for $108 million for securities fraud, and the SEC also called them a pyramid scheme. Nobody's made 1 cent in commissions, although they were all promised commissions. We're coming any second now, any day. Keep checking since September of 2023. Technically, they've been promised commissions since 2019, and they're still waiting. So I think it's a really good question. Why should you be with them? The technology they have already out on the market, way better ones on the market. Way cheaper too. O-Connect is $125 US per month. So, why should you be with Onpassive? Why? Because they have cake and friends with plenty of free time. So you can hang out. I'm actually amazed that they remembered to remove the watermarks from these stock images. Yep. It's not hard to make them. You go to canva.com, you get a whole library. That's how I make my slides. This one says perfect harmony Onpassive. Again, if you don't know what it is, you would think that they're selling a dance studio? You know? Yeah. They use a young girl when the average age is 60 plus. And here, right, I'm thinking ballroom dancing. Nobody at Onpassive is doing that. None of them are dancing like this. Can we just be real? I mean, Susie might be doing the hula hoops, but other than that, they're not doing much moving, right? So they're posting these where? Usually on Twitter, Facebook, and Onet. It's a collection of all of them. Oh, dance. Yeah, stay tuned. They'll have Al with Heart come and take you out on the dance floor. Marty's couch dancing. Maybe. He's got to get off that couch sometimes, okay? He's got to do some movement. I don't know if he'd be able to even do this. I'm just saying, maybe he has to get Dawn to do it. But it's like, why? And it's so weird. They put like there's like the moon here, right? They're supposed to be dancing in the moonlight. And it's like they put the fucking Onpassive over the moon. I guess Onpassive does make all of them happy over the moon, happy. Makes me sad. Just saying. Same, Joe. Joe says I would end up in the hospital if I tried that. Same. You know? I'd break my back. And probably my leg. My sciatica would act up. It would be awful. Then we have this one that says, tap that phone for a digital solution Onpassive. And I'm like, but I still don't know what the digital problem is. What is the digital problem that we need the digital solution for? Pretty sure everyone was pretty happy with how things were going. But okay. I like when they use stock images of VR headsets because that's future tech in their world, right? Right? Look at the bunnies. We would, Joe. Of the psych ward, you mean, right? But yeah, tap that phone for a digital solution. And I'm like, okay, but what are they tapping on? Like, what do you mean? Where is an Onpassive solution? We're the solution. We're the real Onpassive solution. But again, it's just your typical stock image of a girl walking in front of a yellow wall, I guess. Tap that phone for a digital solution. I'm like, oh yeah, is that what happens? I just gotta tap it? Just gotta tap it? I'm sure that there's some people that took that literally, just saying. Then we have this one. You gotta give it to them. At least this time, they did actually make the robot look like it might have come from Onpassive. Because to them, I still believe that they see AI as an actual robot. right? Like, when they think of AI, they're thinking of this. They think it's like a robot sitting at a computer, ready to have a conversation with you, fix all your tech needs. And if you look on its chest, you can just kind of see they put a little gray logo there that says Onpassive. And then it says reorganizing the internet. And my question to you is, for the better or for the worse? I'm just saying, they never said reorganizing it for the better. I wonder if O-Trim is just adult circumcision service. Circumcise your website. Wonder if the robot's circumcised. There, I said it. I know you were all thinking it. I know you were. But yeah, he's deep in thought here. Good old Al. Reorganizing the internet on his laptop computer. And on his laptop, it says hashtag in it to win it. So I guess they're also going to make laptops. You know, it doesn't say Microsoft. It doesn't say Apple. It says in it to win it. It doesn't even say Onpassive. So I guess look forward to that in future. Then we have this one. This one is one of the more cultier looking ones to me. When I saw this, I immediately thought of the Love Has Won cult. It was very Love Has Won cult to me. Onpassive, lifting humanity together. Yeah, they forgot to spell check it. So there's 2 I's in humanity here. And I'm like, good job. Good job. This one really does show that in Onpassive you have to conform, right? Who says Al is male? Good point. It could be short for Allison. That's right. That's right. So, you know, here they're not really promising to uplift humanity because it's humanity with 2 I's. You know? So maybe it's not emotional manipulation. But yeah, it's just creepy how they have all these people like standing here holding hands, and it looks like they're waiting for Robin Williams to show up with a space shuttle and take them all up to heaven through the ocean. You know, that's what it looks like here to me. And I'm like, that's not good. Joe, thank you for being a member for 35 months. Joe says, Marty leading the founders to the Kool-Aid. I mean, he does lead them to the Kool-Aid, right? On quite a few different occasions, he's led them to the Kool-Aid. Because there was that one time that he kind of made a statement that I guess goes along well with this meme.
If that's a cult, call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
Yeah, I'll just play that one more time for you. He says, if this is a cult, call me Reverend Jim Jones. Let's go to Guyana. And it makes a joke about all of the people that lost their lives in Jonestown.
If that's a cult, call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
No joke, he says. No joke, guys. No joke. So Marty would lead the founders to the Kool-Aid. And he might even be the first one to drink. You know? Betty, when you call me, you can call me. Human Titty is the female version. Yes, when they use 2 T's instead. Marty is Al with no heart. There's not much going on upstairs either. But yeah, no, he actually did say
If that's
that.
a cult, call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, this is a cult. I've been calling it a cult. It is very much a cult of personality that surrounds Ash. If you want to be more specific, MLMs are commercial cults. That's a type of cult. If you're unaware of it, look into it. And it's a commercial cult of personality. And that's what I've been referring to it as for quite a while now. And this one promotional one just really shows that. Apart from all of the songs that I've shown you that are very culty, and some of the things that, they say, this meme looks culty as fuck. Marty's brain is in his missing Johnson. He has a heart that fell down into the seat cushions of that recliner. He just hasn't found it yet. He's still looking. He's hoping that Al will help him out and give him heart. Every time. Then we have this other one that's also them dancing. There's like a whole collection of these, by the way, of these dancing images. And then it just has like a quote on it. And this one says, "Follow your passion." It's not even centered and it drives me nuts. Just saying. I'm just saying. Their hats are very cult-like, right? That must be their physical product that they're selling. Because remember, they're supposed to get physical products too. And then they were like, we'll get merch. And I was like, does that count? Because in that case, I'm also a business. Yes, I have merch. Merch links down below. Then we have this one, which I like to think that they were doing Marty here as the Onpassive unicorn. And it says, Onpassive. We are so in it to win it. The ride of a lifetime. And this one was made by our friend Tim Johnson, who's made a lot of these, right? And it's so funny to me because it's like this unicorn and its bike were not in this picture, right? It's added in after. And you can tell. It doesn't look like it goes together at all. It almost, this almost does look like an AI picture. Where just nothing goes together. It's not even the same style. You can totally tell it was just kind of put on there. Right? Mr. Level says, why is Marty so triggered by Mr. Level? I know he hates you, but it hits different with me. Marty gets triggered by anybody that questions his authority. Think of him like Little Cartman, who you can come talk to in my Discord now, by the way. We have Eric Cartman in our Discord. Eric also does not like Onpassive. Just thought I'd share. Marty doesn't like being questioned. He likes to be seen as the big cheese. And I think it bothers him when anyone kind of pushes back on him, even a little bit. And they don't know who you are. Or if you were once a founder. Or anything about you. And I think that bothers them. Right? Joe says, let's get physical. Physical. We're gonna get physical. Physical. Everyone except Marty, though, right? He'll stick in the chair. See, maybe we do need to get him a motorcycle. And then he can go down the road like this guy popping a wheelie. The ride of a lifetime. Susie? I guess we'd have to ask Ash. Right? Have to ask Ash. And they get so frustrated that they can't find you quickly. Possibly, yeah. Because since you don't have a picture right? And it's just the end. I think to them that's harder because a lot of their bot subs, I mean, a lot of their subs are like that. So you kind of get lost in the sea of unnamed people. Joe says, I have never been mean to him, just asking hard questions. And that's what I mean. Like, to him, it's like, if you ask a question he doesn't like, immediately he doesn't like you. He gets right triggered by it. If Tim Cook ever leaves Apple, I would have thought Marty would be a shoo-in. Right? Especially if he can pop wheelies as a unicorn on a bike like this. I feel even Tony Hawk would be impressed then. You know? We'd be doing good. We are like cockroaches in a dirty house. We never stop showing up. That's right. And it's just going to get worse for them as time goes on because I think it's bothering them too because now more than ever their own people have been questioning them. They're not used to that. They're used to having full control over everyone in the cult and what they think and believe. And for the first time in a very long time, since they really had their big blowout in 2019 where like half of the people left because Ash was literally screaming at people on live streams. True story. That was kind of the last time anyone questioned any authority there, if you will, or gave any pushback and their own people got upset. Since then, like, it's been very easy for them to kind of be like, oh, don't go watch the Recovering Hunbot and Queen of Karma. They're just trolls. They're just negative. It's a little bit different when they have people in their own chat that they don't really recognize asking real questions. And especially when it's among a sea of some people who are O founders also asking questions. Right now, if you read under a lot of the videos, screenshot all comments and pay attention, you'll notice that people are asking questions under their videos now about the commissions and the products, probably a lot more than ever. People are a lot more upset in the Facebook groups than they ever have been. This not getting commission thing has kind of caused a lot of a stir. And rightfully so. But see, they're not used to it now because they haven't had to deal with it in a few years. And the last time, Ash just flipped out on everyone. And he can't really do that right now. That would not at all be the answer to this. I think that's why Ash may have kind of stepped back for a while. It's like the last time they had this much push off, he had like literally flipped out and screamed at everyone. So they're like, listen, we're getting a lot of people kind of questioning us and stuff. So maybe you should just, you know, stay in the background for a little bit. I probably do, Jelly. I can go find some. I know that the Recovering Hunbot and myself reacted to a few of them over on her channel back when we were first covering this. She got access to actually one of the main ones where he screamed at everyone. Was like really, really upset. Like really upset. I'm waiting for Ash to have a Hitler in the movie Downfall level meltdown. Yeah, see, and that was back in like 2019. And that's what I mean. That it kind of like was. He pretty much fucked himself over. And a lot of people left at that point, like a large group. And since then, he's learned how to kind of hold his tongue a little bit more when it comes to that sort of stuff. But they don't like having people around them that they can't control. Even when they bring people on their screen to ask questions, right? They're questions that they already know is being asked. They pre-screen everyone. So they have a lot of control when it comes to what's being said on the webinars and whatnot. And I don't think they like how they can't control the chat as much as they can with webinars, right? There's no pre-screening comments in the chat, especially from people like Devil's Advocate or Next Level or Jelly Snack going in there. Like they have no clue what you guys are going to say. What if you say something that somebody reads and then that gets them to fall down the rabbit hole of, yeah, wait, this is weird. Maybe I should be questioning this more. That's what they're really scared of at the end of the day. When it comes to all of us, they're scared that we will have some influence. So lack of control kind of gets them going. You know? If we super chat, will they answer our questions? I mean, if you want to try it out, so far, no matter how nicely the questions are asked, and no matter by who, by the way, be a brand new account that pops in there, asks a really good question that isn't even pushing back on them in any way, shape, or form. It's just a normal question about tech, right? They still will get triggered by it. They still get so angry. So I don't know. And I am not going to suggest anyone donate a cent to anyone in this scam. I feel like they get enough already, you know? So I'm like, yeah, no. But I wouldn't be surprised if you donated and asked the question in a super chat and they still yelled at you. Because that's the point that they're at. And that's pretty gross. Because like I said, most of the time, these guys aren't going in there calling them names and trying to push their buttons and do things to them. We're not trolling them like some people troll out here on YouTube, okay? That's not what's happening. What's happening is they're going in the chats and then they try to think of the most polite way to ask questions where you might get an answer for things like how the tech's going or when are commissions coming. When are we getting commissions shouldn't be a banned question in an MLM chat, you know? You know what I mean? Like, that shouldn't even set them off, but for some reason, it doesn't matter. They get so upset, you know? It's a delicate scam. It's the ride of a lifetime, though, according to this, so maybe we're the ones missing out. I don't know. Onpassive. We are in it to win it. Look at this mountain and these flowers. We are a thing of beauty. And I'm like, well, no, like the mountain and flowers are kind of pretty, but not much is pretty at Onpassive, right? I mean, let's be real. We all think the websites are ugly and the products are not great to look at either. Although they did get rid of the snake in O Connect. I'm glad they took mine and Alonda's advice. Then this one's a little bit weird. Okay? And it's like, what, now we're also preying on disabled people? Not that we haven't been this whole time, but like, now we just don't even care about hiding it, you know? It's just, here it is. And it, of course, has the Onpassive logo at the bottom, and there's a quote here from Fuller R. Buckminster. And the quote is, "You never change things by fighting against the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the old model obsolete." Now, there's been a few times over the last few days, especially actually, where Chris and Marty have made these really weird statements like, well, we're not trying to take over the internet or anything. We're not trying to take over. We just thought it'd be fun to hang out, maybe release some products. But then there's things like this out there. What do you think this means? That you have to build a new model that makes the old model obsolete, right? And yeah, exactly, Violet. It's even obsolete with a capital O, so they mean business, right? That to me says you want to try to make like a new internet, which is funny because Ash talks about that and how that's what he wants to do. He hates censorship. Funny when, they're going around false copyright striking anyone that speaks out about them, but he hates censorship on social media. So it's one of the reasons why he wants to make his new internet, right? So it's like, okay, you can't have Ash out here talking like that, and then you can't have promos like this, and then sit up on a live stream, Marty and Chris, and say things like, Ash never said he wanted to take over the internet. Connect was supposed to go viral. Do you not have faith anymore? Come on. Agent Shilbot said, they're on thin ice because their lies need to be constantly maintained. But the truth can always just stomp in and ruin their act. And that's the thing, is that's why it's so delicate. Date our diaries, please. September 2033. We'll be celebrating both the 10th anniversary of the O-Connect launch and also the 150th extension of the same. Right? The old model just worked, and nothing in Onpassive does, so sometimes you don't gotta change everything, okay? Sometimes it's okay to stay with the old stuff, am I right? And this is why I laugh, because I'm like, nobody asked for things to move faster with technology and the internet. Not one person. I promise you, it's moving too fast, if anything. Okay, if anything, people would probably want it to slow down a little bit, not go faster. So it's like Ash creates these problems that he needs to find the solution to. He's like, oh, the internet's awful right now. I need to make a new one. It's like, I don't think anyone's saying that, are they? O-Connect is a Media Soup clone, painted, piled of shit, but promoted as a Zoom killer, right? Exactly. And that's funny because even Marty and Chris one day were like, we never said it would take over Zoom. Yeah, you literally did. You literally compare it with Zoom 24/7. To the point that like we've started to compare it because you connected the two so much. That's why maybe you shouldn't be out here going, oh, Zoom's so awful. Wait until you try our O-Connect. A lot of people have expectations that are super high in this thing. Just saying, they're all going to be let down. I'm not really sure what this is. I did add the eggs in, by the way. Those 3 eggs, I added them in. It's just a girl, like, blowing some pixie dust. Onpassive. As real as pixie dust. That's all I see. But it says, we love. And then it just Onpassive. And everything looks so out of place. Like, it's like you can tell the we love was added in after, and the girl was added in after, and the logo's like slapped on there larger than the other words. It's ugly, okay? It drives me nuts. And what are we blowing? Before you know it, they're going to say, did you try to blow on your system to see if that's the problem with the O-Connect? I'm just waiting for it. Cupping balls. The robot hand did it too. Oh, is that what they're doing? Because, that could make some more sense. She's like, I love me the balls. I put some eggs on there because I was like, I don't know what this is. Thought I would make it more pretty. I don't know. You can tell me if I did or not. But we love Onpassive. Again, remember, not everyone knows what Onpassive is. In fact, I would argue more people don't know about Onpassive than they know about it, okay? So, when I come across this, like, this doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't really shout at me, go and check out what we are, see what we do, or anything of the sort. It's just a bad marketing material. Onpassive swims with the fishes. You're gonna go swimming with the fishes if you keep talking like this. You can call them eggs. Eggs. What did I say? How do I say it? Do I have a Canadian accent when I say eggs? I have a speech impediment, so probably said it wrong. But yeah, I'm not really sure what this is or what it's supposed to do. Cause like I'm like, okay, so you come across something like this, you're like, okay, cool, so you love Onpassive. And then I'm just gonna keep scrolling. Like this. Now they're selling us cake. Right? Now they're selling us cake. I love you like a fat kid loves cake. They're selling us cake. Says, whoever, not whomever, just whoever offers the most value wins. And I'm like, wait, that's how you win? Are we all supposed to be competing here? Competing to show Ash the most value so that we win? Is this thing a race? Do I get cake at the end? You know, I might do it if I get cake at the end. I'm just saying. Cake. Told you they believe in cake. They do. Oh, bake. Right? It has crab apple and mint garnish. I know, I don't know what that's about, but I'd probably, remove those, but I'm here for the chocolate cake, dude. I guess that's what we win. I'm like, imagine you do this for years and years, and then you find out that you were just in this for a piece of chocolate cake. Wouldn't that be a slap in the fucking face, huh? No commissions, you just get this cake. Like, thanks. Thanks. There's a shocking lack of apples in these memes, right? Apples, you don't want to use them now. Now people are starting to ask about when the apples are coming, so we got to forget about the apples. That's what I think they're doing. Right? Because there was a time where you heard about the apples. Everything was apples. And now you don't hear about the apples at all. They've turned into crab apples, you know? Marty has just launched self-abuse. They need edibles. Yeah. That would make their webinars more fun too. They should try it. I mean, I guess it is better than nothing, right? At least if we get cake, we're getting fucking something from them. I mean, there's that. I'd rather have cake than just no commission. So, I mean, at least it is better than nothing. You know? I probably do somewhere. I know what one you're talking about. There's a couple of them like that where I'm like, what is this robot doing? Is he getting drunk right now? Because he shouldn't be. What's going on with this ad, you know? What's happening here? So yeah, I guess I would join for the cake. Because you can't join for the tech. And let's be real. Is the company worth it? And I'm not talking about Onpassive as a company. I mean the company they keep. Then this one makes I can't look at this one without laughing. I feel like this is a storm. I feel like they slapped these words on a picture of a storm, and it says, "Keep calm, 'cause blessings are coming your way." And then in the background, it looks like they're about to have a fucking tornado. I'm like, wait, you want me to be calm in this? Because, like, if I look outside my window and the sky's looking like this, okay, and the waters are this rough, I don't know if I'm going to be keeping calm. That's probably the last thing I'm doing. You know? I see that and I'm like, do we need shelter? And I'm probably not keeping that calm. I'm probably going to flip out a little. So every time I see this one, it makes me laugh. It's been posted a couple times now. Keep calm, cuz. And like using slang words like that, I just don't find it cute in promo marketing material either. You start the countdown. It's like, haven't we been doing the countdown like this whole time? How long do I have to wait before these blessings actually do come? All right, we've been here for a few years now. Still no blessings. That's the SEC storm incoming. I welcome that storm. But this is just, it's so funny to me. I'm like, what? Out of all of the pictures you could have chosen to slap Keep Calm on top of, why this one? Like, why? Like, the trees are like bent in the background. There is a wind going on here. All right, we're about to have a tornado. And they're like, keep calm, because blessings are coming your way. But, you know, based on how Marty and Chris talked about the bridge earlier today, maybe they are talking about a tornado coming and ripping up a whole place that they'll be able to then swoop in and sign everyone up to O-Connect with. Because, you never know anymore. The blessings are so huge that are coming, according to Jeffrey Morlock. Yeah, as big as this storm. When we get Obless up and running, yep. When we get Obless up and running, we'll help the people that were a part of this storm here, because this looks like a bad one. But keep calm, guys. The blessings are coming your way. Ah! God, every time. Then we have this one. This one bothers me for several different reasons, and I'm sure you can think of why. First of all, it's another just like chill out, keep calm, whatever. This would be kind of cute if it was for the ice cream, I guess. But the other thing is that it's 2 children. And for those that are unaware, Onpassive does break child labor laws and tells people to sign up their unborn children to their MLM. They tell people it's okay to promote in schools. And they do sign up underage children to have an MLM business in this. So when I see this, it irks me a little bit. I feel like this here is promoting it to parents to sign up their kids, which you should never do. All right? Until they're at the age of wherever you live, of the age of being an adult, okay? Then don't sign them up. Because like here where I live in Ottawa, Ontario, you're an adult at 18, you can do everything by 19. You can drink, you can gamble, and all of that stuff by 19. Technically, you can gamble at 18, you just can't go into a casino that serves alcohol, okay? Because you have to be 19 to drink. But you can buy like scratch tickets and all that kind of stuff at 18, right? I don't think you should be allowed to sign up for an MLM company until you're at least 18 where I live. Because that's the legal age of adulthood is 18, okay? I don't even agree with, in some places in the US, I hear that they'll allow you to sign on at 16 to some MLMs if you have a parent's consent. I say no fucking way, no. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't agree with that being a thing. I think that you should have to be a full-on adult, okay, and not need a parent's permission before you can sign on to an MLM. Because it is work. Just like I don't agree with family vlog channels forcing their kids to make videos. I have a couple videos on my channel for members only. That's my daughter making a video. Right? But my channel would never depend on my daughter for our content. My membership videos are also not monetized, by the way. I just also wanted that to be clear. Join our members. You get some free access to some free videos, and then you might also get other ones that come out early without the ads for you too. And you get emojis and all kinds of cool stuff. Just, might as well plug myself here. Why the fuck not? So, like, when I look at this, I get awful feelings. Awful feelings. I'm like, no. The Onpassive is not for the children. I don't even like how they tell people to sign up their children for them, even if they're running the accounts. No. Leave your kids alone and their credit alone. All right? Listen, back in the 70s and 80s, you didn't used to need ID. So there's a bunch of adults right now in this world whose parents fucked over their credit. My husband's actually one of them, unfortunately, or was before he fixed it. So, like, it's just, it's so iffy to me. It's like, don't do that to your kid. Okay, don't start them off in that way. Onpassive is still coming? I know, it needs to stop. Get the tiny dinger condoms. Sherry learned some freaky stuff back in the 70s. Probably. Is Sherry tracked yet? I don't know. I'm wondering if Sherry's been paid for using the products yet. Can confirm, my mom bought me and her grandson positions. He's 12. Yeah. And that's what I mean. I don't agree with it. I really don't. It's like my daughter is turning 10 this year. Like, what need would she have for this? Why would I sign her up? That just seems like a bad idea, It sucks. The SEC stuff woke her up, thankfully. That's good to hear. I'm glad. And then this is the other thing. And just staying on a similar thing, like, everyone in Onpassive signs up in their first and last names, and they sign on to social media in their first and last names. Okay? It's not the best idea. It's not the best idea to be out here as a parent with your first and last name. Take it from somebody who logged on YouTube as a parent with her first and last name. I've had police and CAS at my house 29 times because of internet drama. Just because I have a child, all right, my location and name is known because I was kind of public before I was on YouTube. So it was like, what, do I like go unpublic now? Like, how do you unpublicize yourself when you've been like working on being a public figure since you were in high school? I don't know. I don't know how to do that. So I was like, well, we just continue on and now I'll make a YouTube channel. You get what I'm saying? There was no way for me to unpublicize myself. Okay? I unfortunately have been in this game for way too long. So, my advice to any parent out there is do not log on here in your first and last name. Okay? Because there are people that just will have a stick up their ass for you. And they might get bored one day and want to start some drama. They might want to SWAT your home. They might want to call CPS to your house. They might want to do A, B, and C. There are also chomos on here, okay? And it's just not a great idea to have your child attached to your location and your name. Just not the best idea. So that also worries me when it comes to Onpassive. Is aside from like the website not being safe, using their products not being safe, I wouldn't log into a wallet of theirs and attach my bank info. That's not safe. Like, none of that is safe. But on top of that, it's very much use your actual names. And it's just not the greatest idea for security purposes. And it kind of drives me nuts because it's like they are supposed to be a tech company. So you think that they would be aware of all of these security issues and protecting your personal information and etc. But they're not. And so because of that, I really don't think that people under the age of wherever, 21, I guess, if you're in a lot of US states, or 18 in Canada, or whatever, whenever you're a legal adult. If you sign up before that, just not a good idea. Don't sign up kids. You know? It's just not good. Because you never know. You never know. So when I see ads like this, it's like, are they appealing to kids? Yes. And are they appealing to parents of kids? Yes. Do they tell people to sign up kids? Yes. Have kids been signed up in Onpassive? Yeah. So it's like, fuck. I don't want that. So I just really think that, and I get it, you know, it's a time for social media, etc., 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 but you still do have to protect yourself on here. And you gotta be real, like, if you're involved in a tech company that isn't telling you to protect your personal information, should you trust it? Probably not. You know, like, you know, probably not. It's just, it's so weird because a lot of us have grown up on the internet, and we went from being young and watching To Catch a Predator with our parents, being told to be careful of what's on the internet, to logging online and then sharing our children's entire lives with strangers. And it's an interesting thing that's happened, but I don't know if it's the best thing. You know, I have regrets. Even. Of course, I have regrets from when I was in MLMs, and I've been very open about that. But, you know, it's like, if you're with a tech company and they're like, use your first and last names on YouTube and sign your kids up for this, you might want to rethink some things. Just, you know, take a moment and just be like, is this a company I want to be a part of? Because probably not. ONET is 100% safe because everyone is verified. Why would you need more than one account that earns 0? And I don't even think, like, what would be the point? Are you, like, downloading OConnect on different, like, devices to use it? Like, how does that even work? You know what I mean? I always wondered that. That teaches them the wrong messages to get a kid in an MLM. Yeah. And I feel like, listen, I'm going to be honest, like, your first job sucks already. Okay? And when I first came out here, one of my big things that I was talking about as an anti-MLM person was how MLMs can actually ruin the workplace experience for young people. Because if you get out into the working world and your very first job is an MLM, and that's how you think everything, like, works, you really fuck yourself and give yourself a real bad attitude about it. And it's like, just don't do that. It's a bad idea. I'm somebody that gets very influenced by how by the psychology behind things, you know? So if I came out and my first job was to work at, like, Onpassive and not make commissions and be in webinars for 12 hours a day, that might psychologically fuck me up and make me hate working. When I don't hate working. I just hate being in an MLM where I'm not making commissions and I'm expected to be in webinars for 12 hours a day, and when I ask questions, I'm yelled at. You know what I mean? Like, it can just start them off on a very sour point of view about work. And I don't think it's a good idea for their psyche. So I really do wish that MLMs would, like, fuck off out of the colleges and the universities, stop preying on young people just altogether. It's just not a good idea. It can really psychologically mess with somebody and their entire outlook on what it is to be an adult and have a job and all that kind of stuff. And I don't think that that's something that should be messed with. As someone that had to very quickly learn that in my adult life because I wasn't taught it growing up, don't do that to your kids. Just don't. You know, just don't do it. still able to start an OES account with a false email account, or random people are getting signed up to something they have never heard of, right? Right? Why is this big creepy dude named Don liking all my Instagram posts? Weird, Gary. Weird. The three amigos have many accounts. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. And Gersminder still has over 2,000 accounts and etc., you know? But yeah, no. This is probably the grossest one I'm going to show you, for the reason that it is supposed to appeal to children and to parents to sign up their children. And to me, there is nothing more gross than an MLM or company in any way, shape, or form doing that, really. And there's a reason why we have child labor laws. You know? Then this one makes me fucking laugh. This one makes me laugh because it says, bridge to success with Onpassive, and the bridge is broken. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's about right. Just take the hand away and you've got the right idea. You know? You know? So he's walking on the hand. I know that they're saying that it's like Onpassive is there and it's helping the bridge. I know, but you gotta admit, it's pretty funny that Onpassive's bridge to success is broken and you need a hand over it. Okay, that's, you know me. That's how I'll look at this. Then we have this one that says, the beast is stirring. And then there's a dinosaur. And I'm like, I don't know why there's a dinosaur. That's not the beast. The beast is stirring. There, I fixed it for you. Now we have the beast on there. There he is. He's right here.
My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
I always like his little head nod at the end. Like, he gives himself a little, good job, bud, at the end of that. I'm Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend. Yeah, you believe me?
My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
Little head nod. Always makes me giggle a bit. So there we go. The beast is stirring. I fixed it. I fixed it. Is that a dinosaur given a unicorn horn? I do believe so. It looks like that to me as well. I don't remember the T-Rex having a horn on the top of its head. So yeah. The beast. My wife doesn't call it that. I want him to say that in court. That'd be pretty funny. Actually, it would. He has said that Omar sold to his teachers at school. Yep. Yeah, apparently all of his teachers and old camp counselors. Because remember, Ayman Rashad was an old camp counselor, not a teacher at school. It's funny because Ash forgets his own lies. Right? So then he'll be like, I sold it to all my teachers. And it's like, you said he was your camp counselor. I sold it to all them too. It's like, oh God, just shut up, Ash. Just stop. Do you know what, Gary? They should just do beta testers, because we haven't left a beta testing part. Like, since this thing started, everything's in beta test. We're beta testing everything. They might as well just be the beta testers. That's all that gets done here is beta testing. You know? Because we're not doing any alpha testing. We all know that. Is he the Antichrist? No. He doesn't have enough charisma. I gotta be honest, you know. When I first got brought on to covering Onpassive, it was because the Recovering Hunbot and myself have both been out here since 2019. And for whatever reason, in our journeys as anti-MLM advocates, we would always end up kind of like right in line with each other. A good example of this is I was covering Organo Gold and like Tom Brooks being a part of it. He was on 90 Day Fiancé. big thing. Everyone wanted to know what he did for a living. And I just so happened to be looking into MLMs, you know? And I came across Organo Gold, and there was Tom Brooks from 90 Day Fiancé promoting the shit out of it. And I was like, oh, I think I know what he does for a living. Well, while I was doing that, the Recovering Hunbot was actually deep diving OneCoin. And as I'm covering Organo Gold, I'm starting to pick up people that are in OneCoin. As she's covering OneCoin, she starts realizing a lot of these people in OneCoin are also attached to Organo Gold. And we just kept doing that in our careers. So we've been friends since the beginning of us being on here, pretty much. We met, I believe, within a month of me logging on. I did an interview with Alonda back in, I believe it was late 2019 on her channel, maybe early 2020. And so just ever since then, like just little things like that kept happening. So through all that journey, she got led to Onpassive, and she asked me to come on. And the reason why she asked me to come on is because her thing is more the education, the training, coaching, and business stuff, right? My thing is more cults, group mentality, group think, and more so that even than MLMs, if you will. And when she brought it up to me, she said, Beth, I found this thing. It's a business. Well, no, it's an MLM, but it's not really an MLM. It's a scam. It's a pyramid scheme, Ponzi scheme thing. That's really what it is. And you know, there's this guy that runs it, and his name's Ash Mufara. And listen, Beth, I think this is a cult, but like this guy just doesn't have charisma. And he doesn't have like any of the traits that you would see in a cult leader. Like that, you know, Jim Jones had, or even Charles Manson, or Harold Klemp even. Like just anyone that's running a cult. Never in my life seen somebody like this be able to kind of grab the control and attention of so many people. And she didn't really know what to call it. And it makes me laugh because every time I look back at that, all I think about is the fact that Ash Mufara is not your typical kind of cult leader, right? Usually they have a lot of charisma, you know? And usually they're very good at speaking. And I just remember watching the first couple webinars with her that she showed me, and it was like, what is this thing that you just brought me on to? Like, this guy is crazy. It's crazy people are listening to him. No charisma. Not one iota, yet for some reason we got all of these people just believing everything he says. It's magic is what it is. I should take charge of the beta testing. He would be the master beta tester. That's right. You got here after watching Spencer's first Onpassive video. Awesome. We love Spencer here. It's not really in any. It was so funny because she was like, it's an MLM. And then she was like, no, like not really, because they don't have products. So it's more of a pyramid scheme. And then she was like, listen, I think it's a cult. Can you come on and watch this and tell me if this is a cult? And I was like, sure, yeah, for sure, we'll do it. But it was like, she didn't even know how to describe it to me. She's like, I don't, like, it's not really an MLM because they're not selling anything and like they don't really have anything, but they're doing everything else MLMs are doing. And she's like, you just have to come on my channel and see. Just come on my channel and I'll show you what I mean. And I was like, okay, this will be fun. This will be a good one. And that's kind of how I ended up doing the streams with her. Because after one or two of those, I was like, I can't, like, we got to keep going into this thing. This is fucking like watching something that we've never seen before. It's like watching somebody that has all the opposite traits of a cult leader somehow being a cult leader. It's like, it's crazy. But here it is. This is it. You know? He's a terrible speaker. And that's what I mean. I remember just watching one of the first webinars and I was like, this guy can barely string a fucking sentence together. How are there people watching this man and believing this man? What is happening right now? Because I was used to covering cults where it's like, you know, the guy that's running it, it's usually a man, pretty good looking, has some charisma. The closest I had gotten to covering a cult like that was Love Has Won, where it was like, what the hell is going on with this Amy Carlson lady being drunk and high on shrooms and screaming at people, right? So he was like the male counterpart, if you will, to the Love Has Won cult. Because he was like the male version of Amy. It was like you're watching him going, how is this guy the leader here? What? It's a pyramid scheme wrapped in an MLM, wrapped in a cult, pretty much, right? I have to agree with you, Queen. In Ash's case, syphilis is a poor substitute for charisma. It is. It is. It's sort of a non-crypto rug pull. Oh, it might be crypto soon. Right? Because Ash is talking like they're going to make the O-coin crypto. We'll see. I'm wondering if maybe because of his finances, if they can't make it crypto and they can't get a merchant because of him. So if he's now trying to replace himself with Muhammad Kamal a bit more as the CEO, because maybe that guy's credit is better. And he's not well known by everyone as being a con artist, like Ash has the long history, you know, and has already had stuff shut down. A lot of us believe that Ash Max probably, along with Pay Diamond and Telex Free, fucked over his credit, which is a big reason why he had to put so much of this company in his wife's name instead, right? Because we haven't even seen her. I don't even know if this woman actually exists. Okay? We've literally never once seen her. So it's like, it's all just craziness. He doesn't have enough presence to even run a school parents meeting. Hey, I used to run those, you know? Like the people who followed Forrest Gump in running. Yeah. But here we go. The beast is stirring. And it is Ash Mufara. I guess he's more of a snake than a beast, though. This one makes me laugh because it is my personal belief that if you are in Onpassive as the perfect business, then you definitely have your head in the sand. So I feel like we're agreeing. We're agreeing with this one. Still looking for the perfect business? Take a look at Onpassive, and it's an ostrich with its head in the sand. Like, yes, you would have to be like this or have your head up your buttocks in order to be like, yeah, Onpassive is a good choice. You know? Onpassive is a good choice. You'd have to be like this. I strongly believe, anyway. Every time. Anyway, guys, that was Onpassive's silliest promos over the past, month or so. Happy Easter to all of you. I hope that you all have a fabulous, fabulous rest of your Fridays. Have a fantastic, fantastic Good Friday if that's what you celebrate. Or just a fabulous Friday, you know, if you're just hanging out like me today. Have a wonderful weekend. I will be back probably later on next week with streams. I might have a video out for you earlier on in the week, but don't hold me to it. It kind of depends on how everything goes this weekend. So I'll let you all know. Stay tuned to the community tab. But I hope all of you have a very, very happy Easter, no matter what you're celebrating this weekend. Just have a wonderful long weekend. I love all of you. Thank you so much for being here and for going on this Onpassive journey with me. It's my belief that we're actually the ones that are having fun on this journey, not them. So, let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. Keep on going into their live streams and asking real questions. I won't be the one to tell you to stop doing that. And no matter where you are, what you're doing, again, have a fabulous, fabulous weekend. And I will see you all about mid next week. Much love to all of you. I love you all. Mwah. Bye. We're in it to win it.